in the afternoon sun, sipping on sweet tea, feeling so undone. Butterflies dancing in the warm body. Hey y'all, Julie here. I know I haven't posted a lot of videos lately. I just wanted to give you guys an update about what's been going on with me and the health issues that I mentioned in the last couple of videos. I have been diagnosed with cervical cancer, and that's not one that's, you know, it's got a favorable outcome. So I'm in a good frame of mind. I know I have a battle ahead of me. They found a 5 centimeter mass. So once they get done with all their testing and everything, I'll know what my treatment plan is going forward. So today was my last day of work. So that's going to hurt because we are a 2-person house income household. Pardon me. But, you know, the Lord will provide. I know He will. He brought me to it. He's going to bring me through it. So all the prayers, you know, good thoughts and everything are much appreciated. But I do want to also share my journey with all of you, because if I can help just one person avoid getting to where I'm at today, it'll be worth it. There are many reasons why us women don't keep, following up and do those yearly appointments that are necessary for us to do. They're not the most comfortable thing to go through, number one. But a lot of times we have jobs, or if if you don't have a job and you don't have insurance, it's a lot more difficult to keep up with this kind of regular preventative appointments. Usually there are health departments, and most areas have different organizations that are low income, no income, so I strongly suggest that you look into what options are available for you in your local community. I was having some other health issues that I had gone through several doctor's appointments, multiple testing, that, my primary care physician wanted to send me for this, that, and the other thing, preventative. And I was there because I was having an issue. I was in pain. This was 5 years ago in 2020. I was in pain from what was going on. But he just wanted to focus on all the preventative things, sent me for a mammogram, this, that, and the other thing, which turned into 3 days off work for that. Then he ended up sending me to a specialist. That was another 2 or 3 days off work. And by the time I got done with all of that, I was thoroughly disgusted because I felt like my pain was being dismissed. Nobody was finding any answers. And I just I was like, okay, I've got to deal with this on my own. So now to today, where, well, it was a couple weeks ago. It was the day after my birthday. I had made an appointment because I had been experiencing pain, but most of that pain felt like this, just more of the same that I was going through before. And it wasn't, but I started getting some new symptoms that took me to an OBGYN, and she referred me to an oncologist, and that's where we're at right now. I don't have a whole lot of details on it right now because they're still going through their testing to determine whether it's invasive whether it's, spread, what stage it is, and what type. So as I get all of that information, I will definitely, share with y'all. I've got a surgical biopsy scheduled Monday. So hopefully within a week, they'll have the answers they need on that, where they can get a PET scan scheduled, the MRI, all of that good stuff that they have to do, so that they know what they're dealing with. And, I haven't been with my new employer that long. I started in April. So today was my last day of work, because I kept her apprised of what was going on, and she found somebody to replace me. So, she told me today, she said, look, you need to focus on your health. I've got somebody to replace you. So, today was my last day. And I'm good with that, other than the fact that we are a 2-person income household. So I'm going to have to get very creative, and I'm a little worried about that. But as I said, God brought me to it. He'll bring me through it. He'll provide. So that being said, I do have some cute little crafts, a short little craft video. This is the weekend of our big craft show that we usually do in November, and we did a few little things for it. We had our friend Courtney take our space. Check her out at Illuminated Garden. I'll put the link in her in the description box for her YouTube channel. She's a very she's a very spiritual, uplifting person. She was gracious enough to take our space at the craft show and allow my daughter-in-law to put up a table for us with some stuff. Me and Dee Dee both were not physically able to go dig in the shed, pull everything out, go set. We've got a lot of stuff. So we kept it the one table this year. My daughter-in-law's is working our table. Courtney took the rest of the space and is selling her jewelry and her different things. So check her out, though. She's just an overall great person. She doesn't do she isn't crafting on her channel, but she is doing a lot of positive, basically putting out positive vibes. Who couldn't use that right now, right? I certainly can. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video with the crafts. I do have a Buy Me a Coffee link, which will be in my description box. If you feel inclined to do so, it would be a great help. Don't feel like you have to, but if you're able and inclined to do so, I thank you ahead of time. And let's go ahead and get on with the craft. Alright, so I filmed my intro on Friday. This video is probably going out on Monday. So, Friday was my last day of work. And I will probably be recovering from surgery when the video goes live. Anyway, so I took, we took these little salt shakers, and we made several of these, but I didn't, sorry, but I didn't make a video for each and every one of them. I forgot to take the stuff with me. I forgot to take the ring light and all that stuff with me when I went over to craft and do some of these with Dee Dee and my daughter-in-law. So I had a few to make after I got home, so I went ahead and recorded this one. We made several of them, but I did the milk and cookies one. after I got home, or I think I did it the next day. But Dee Dee pre-cut all the fabric strips. Some of the ones that I've seen made, they tear the fabric, uh, which I think is absolutely, those are absolutely adorable. But Dee Dee is me and Dee Dee both are very picky in different ways for stuff. So I let her cut all the fabric because, well, if every piece wasn't the exact same length, size, all that, it drives her crazy. She says, I wouldn't buy that, so I'm not going to make that. So I let her pre-cut all the fabric for me. But you just layer, like you would if you're making a messy bow. Just layer all the pieces of fabric, and then I did like the ribbons on top. The ribbons, and I had like little string pearl things that I did on the top. And, just cut those. I think we cut ours to 9 inches. Now, a lot of the ones that I'm seeing out there are really fluffy. Um, they put a lot more fabric on them than what we did. And I, for me and Dee Dee, we didn't want all of the tassel part to take the show away from the cute little salt and pepper shaker, part of it. So we did less fabric and stuff in there so that it wasn't as bulky of a tassel. But here let's see, is that the ribbon? Yeah. Oh, I used one of the pieces of ribbon to measure for cutting the little pearl strands. And I honestly thought I had cut that out because I was doing it off screen. Evidently, I didn't. I didn't cut all of it out anyway. But, so you just take and pull your string up. I always lay the string down first and then lay everything out around it, and then, you can pull it up easier and tie it. Now, here's the tricky part. I've got to have a third finger to hold the knot down when I'm trying to tie it, and I'm not coordinated enough to quite keep my finger. Yeah, so I didn't get it as tight as I would like, but I corrected that when I put the wire on, that you run up through the salt shaker. Oh, look, Smokey's making an appearance. She's gotten so big, and she's gotten ornery as all get out. She gets into everything. Drives me crazy, but I love her. So here, I didn't measure the wire. I just like pulled out a good long string of it. Now the fabric and the ribbon and all that, I don't know if I've already said it. We cut those to 9 inches. And then I just ran the wire down under there, crisscrossed it, grabbed my pliers and gave it a good tight twist. So that helped secure it better than what the string was able to secure it. See, I just take my pliers there, and for the life of me, I couldn't find my needle nose pliers. All I could find was my looping ones, but they work just fine. And then you just take and you put those wires up through the holes. Now, the cookie one was easy. The milk jug, on the other hand, that was a little bit of a challenge because it's a lot narrower in there, and trying to get both of them up through there. It was a little bit more challenging, but I got it eventually. I didn't make you watch me struggle with it. I only just really did this one of the cookies, and then showed you how I made the toppers. But after I get all the other done, and put together, then I went back and trimmed and made sure everything was the same length. Because I guess somehow or another I had some that were hanging down further on one side than the other. But all I did here is that the pieces of wire that I cut off after I twisted it at the top of the shaker, I used it to make basically eye loop pin. So I used my pliers to make the eye loop on one end, put my beads on, and then did another eye loop on the other. Now, a lot of these I'm also seeing that people run ribbon through there, put another, jump ring. Um, After they do the beaded part, they put another jump ring on the top to run ribbon through. I chose not to do that so that people could hang them as ornaments if they wanted to. They could get, put the little hook on there. Didn't even really think about doing the the ribbon through there. But what I did here is I took a jump ring, put it through where I curled the wires on top of the salt shaker that I had run through, and then I put the little beaded thing on there, and voila. Other than trimming it down, um, it's done. But we thought these were just so cute, and Dee Dee was like, "We got to make some of these." I didn't realize that there were so many people out there making them. And our craft show this year, me and Dee Dee didn't do it. My friend Courtney took most of our space, and my daughter-in-law set up with a few of our things, including these. And I didn't realize it at the time that we were sort of in competition with Courtney, because she's making sun catchers out of these with beads and crystals versus the tassels. So hers were, we had some that were a little different. She didn't have any Christmas themed ones, so we weren't direct competition, but it was kind of the same concept a little bit. So, but we've got, I've got that, I love that little ring thing because it works great for like the jump rings and whatnot. You just kind of slide the one side in there, and you can just maneuver it as you need to. So, and see, aren't they cute? So, if you're new here, I invite you to subscribe. If you've been following our channel, I thank you so very, very much. Please do the like, comment, share, whatever. You know the routine. Every little bit helps. I will have my buy me a coffee link in the description box as well. And, just know that I love y'all that have stuck with us even through the not consistent times. Thank you so much for your support. And I hope that you have a very, very blessed day or blessed evening, because this will be coming out in the evening. And here's some of the ones that, some of the other ones that we made. I put pictures of some of the others that we made too in here. And I just thought those were super adorable. But anyhow, thank you so much for watching and liking and, you know, interacting with our content. We appreciate every bit of it. Sipping on sweet tea, feeling so undone. Butterflies dancing in the warm body air. Southern vibes surround us.